All right, in this lesson we're going to show you how to solve absolute value equations that have two absolute values in them. Now remember, on your Canvas page I have typed in pink letters that when you solve an absolute value equation you always have two solutions. So let's remember that. So in this case we're going to say that 3x minus 4 is going to equal x, and 3x minus 4 is going to equal negative x, and then we just solve those two equations. All right, so I'm going to do this pretty quickly. Hopefully you understand what I'm doing. Plus 4 on both sides. All right, now I have 3x equals x plus 4. Now I'm going to move this 1x over here, and now I'll have 2x equals 4, and I divide by 2, and x equals 2. So there's one of my answers. All right, let's do another one. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull the negative 4 over to the right, so I'll say plus 4 on both sides. Now I have 3x equals negative x plus 4. I hope you're not trying to add the 4 with the x and get like negative 3x or something like that, whatever. Okay, you can't do that. All right, so then I'm going to bring over the x plus x on both sides. Now I have 4x equals 4, and I divide, and x equals 1. So there are my two solutions to that equation. All right. If I were to graph these answers on a number line, I would have this is a very simple one. It's between 1 and 2. So I would just put a number line, a dot here. This is 1. And then another dot over here. This is 2. So my answers are 1 and 2. And by the way, the middle of this line right here is 1.5. 1.5. So this distance is 0.5, and this distance is 0.5. All right, here's another equation that I want to show you. We have two absolute values. The only difference is on this side we're multiplying by a positive 2 before we continue. All right, so let me write it out the first way with all the positives. So I'm going to say 4x minus 10 equals 2 times 3x plus 1. And that's going to be all the positives. But my other equation is going to be 4x minus 10 equals 2 times negative 3x minus 1. Do you see why? I have to change that whole thing into negative. So instead of saying positive 3x, I say negative 3x. Instead of saying positive 1, I say negative 1. And now we just now we just solve it. So 4x minus 10 equals distributive property, 6x plus 2. I'm going to pull the 6x over, so therefore, because I'm going across the equation, I change the sign. Negative 2x minus 10 is 2. I'm going across the equal sign again. So I'm going to change the sign. Negative 2x equals 12. Divide by negative 2, and x will equal negative 6. So that's one of my answers right there. Over here, 4x minus 10 equals, now 2 times negative 3x is negative 6x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Now, I'm going to pull my 6x over, so I have to do the opposite, plus 6x. That goes away. 10x minus 10 is negative 2. Now I'm going to bring my negative 10 over, so I have to change the sign because I'm crossing the equals. Plus 10. 10x is 10 take away 2 is 8. And x is going to equal 8 divided by 10, which is just, you could leave it at 8 over 10, or you could say, 0.8. So it's both of those answers. And again, if I were to graph this, I would put my negative 6 here on the left and the 0.8 on the right. And all I would do, guys, in your calculators, do this. Go baby negative 6. Whoops. I'm sorry. Just use that baby negative thing. Negative 6 plus 0.8 divided by 2. And when you get that, you're going to get the middle part right here is going to be negative 2.4. So the middle of this line is negative 2.4. So that's the same distance from here as it is from here. And we'll see why that matters in a few lessons.